Black Wallstreet was a prosperous black community located in the Greenwood district. The community was the dream for many black individuals where residents supported one another economically. They had everything they could desire, but on May 31st, 1921, it was all taken away from them. This was all experienced by a then 6-year-old boy named John, who would go on to become one of the greatest historians America has ever produced. Greenwood was founded in the early 1900s in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Its founder, O.W. Gurley, established the first business in the area after purchasing land and selling it primarily to black residents. His efforts helped create a thriving, self-sustaining black community. J.B. Stratford further expanded Greenwood's economic growth by building numerous businesses, including the Stratford Hotel, one of the largest black-owned hotels in the United States at the time. The success of Greenwood demonstrated the strength and determination of its residents. Known as Black Wallstreet, the Greenwood district in Tulsa was home to approximately 11,000 residents and more than 600 black-owned businesses. Stretching across 35 blocks, the community included banks, luxury shops, hotels, schools, churches, and well-kept homes. The district was also home to many black doctors, lawyers, and entrepreneurs who helped build a strong and self-sustaining local economy. Nearly everything residents needed could be found within the district itself, making it a powerful example of black independence during the era of segregation. For Buck Colbert Franklin, Tulsa represented opportunity and promise.
My father in 1920 moved on to Tulsa, Oklahoma, left us behind, and we were then to move at the end of school term. My mother was teaching, and we were all packed, as a matter of fact, almost, I think, figuratively, maybe literally, sitting on our backs, waiting for my father to come and get us, and to escort us on the train to Tulsa, where he had already made arrangements, secured a house for us, that sort of thing. And we waited for him, and he never came. And absent a radio or television or telephone or any kind of communication, we simply didn't know what had happened. And finally, my mother read in the newspaper, Muskogee Daily Phoenix, that there was a race ride in Tulsa, and that there were many casualties. And that at least increased her anxiety and apprehension even more. And she wondered whether he was really living. And we didn't know whether he was living or dead. And it was about 10 days later that she got a brief letter from him saying that he was all right. He was unharmed, except that everything that he acquired, his law office was burned to the ground, the house that he acquired was burned to the ground, and that he had been in detention for those days and couldn't get in touch with my mother. And this was his first contact, and he said that he didn't know when he would be there. It would be some time before he could make it down there.
On the night of May 31st, 1921, violence erupted in Tulsa. Earlier in the day, a teenage shoe shiner named Dick Rowland was accused of assaulting 17-year-old Sarah Page, though it was more likely that Rowland stumbled into the elevator operator on accident. As anger built over the alleged assault, a white mob invaded the Greenwood district. What began as rising tension quickly escalated into widespread chaos and destruction. Homes and businesses were looted and set ablaze as residents were forced to flee for their lives. Gunfire echoed through the streets and entire blocks were reduced to ashes. Airplanes flew overhead, reportedly dropping incendiary devices, marking one of the first times an American community was attacked from the air. As survivor and attorney Buck Colbert Franklin later wrote in his memoir, My Life in an Era, "The sky was darkened by smoke and dust, and from my office window, I could see planes circling in midair. They grew in number and hummed, darted, and dipped low. I could see something falling from the planes and hear something like hail falling upon the top of my office building. By the morning of June 1st, more than 35 blocks of Greenwood had been destroyed. Historians estimate that as many as 300 black residents were killed and over 10,000 people were left homeless. Survivors were detained in internment camps under armed guard while their once thriving community lay in ruins. In less than 24 hours, a vibrant and successful district was devastated not by accident, but by racial hatred and violence.
You had this fair for a train ride to Reynoldsville, and what was even more important, I suppose, was that he was seizing that as an opportunity to make good contact with aggrieved victims of the riot. And he was suing the city and suing the state and suing the insurance companies in behalf of his new clients, you see.
The aftermath of the destruction of Black Wall Street was devastating for the African American community in Tulsa. After the violent events of Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921, more than 1,000 homes and businesses were destroyed, leaving thousands of black residents homeless. Many families lost their savings, property, and livelihoods in just a few hours. Insurance companies also refused to pay claims, saying the damage was caused by a riot. Local officials tried to make rebuilding difficult by changing zoning laws, which would have prevented residents from restoring their neighborhood. Despite these challenges, the people of Greenwood showed resilience by slowly rebuilding their homes and businesses. Historian John Hope Franklin, who grew up in Tulsa, reflected on the lasting impact in his autobiography. He wrote that the massacre destroyed not only homes and businesses, but also the dreams and aspirations of a people. His words highlight how the economic and emotional damage lasted for generations, contributing to ongoing racial inequality and a lack of generational wealth in the community. Overall, the tragedy of Black Wall Street remains an important reminder of both the strength of the Greenwood community and the lasting consequences of racial violence in American history.